So feminist foreign policy emerged back in 2014. Sweden was the first country in the world to announce, to giggles and kind of cynicism, that they would be pursuing a feminist foreign policy, which meant that they would be prioritizing the protection and upholding of the human rights of all women and girls in their foreign policy, that they would also strive to improve women's representation in decision-making and leadership positions, and also that they would dedicate adequate resources to achieving all of these goals. Since then, it's almost now 10 years, we've had approximately 15 more countries adopting a feminist foreign policy, and they more or less all align around the same goals of promoting gender equality in their foreign action and working very much focusing on improving women's representation. So feminist foreign policy is emerging as a tool to combine and accelerate progress toward achieving equal representation. I think the strong points of reference for feminist foreign policy are its focus on intersectionality, thinking where does power lie in foreign policy and in the international political system, not just between men and women, but also between states, and thinking how can we then reform these power structures to make sure that they are more equitable, and thinking a little bit more carefully around not just women and men, but taking a non-binary approach, and then also to gender, and also thinking which women are at the table. Are we making sure that women that are facing multiple forms of marginalization because of their race or their sexual identity or other forms of identity, how do they have access to their country's foreign service, and are they enabled and allowed to come to the table and be part of these discussions? And then also, feminist foreign policy aspires to strengthen the coherence between international and domestic policies. So we do see feminist foreign policy countries adopting national quotas to improve women's representation. That can be another tool, learning from that domestic experience and then transferring that to the international arena can also help improve women's representation. So I think that bringing the two together and kind of thinking where can they complement each other and basically mutually promote the goals of equality, equal representation with an intersectional lens, that can accelerate progress for both feminist foreign policy and for equal representation.